If you're in rage, you're one of us. I said, if you're out of rage, you're one of us. If you're really out of rage, you're definitely one of us, because you think there is a reason for your anger, which is a wrong perception. If you look at it, people get terribly angry with their loved ones. There's a whole lot of violence within the homes because they get terribly angry with their loved ones, somebody that they're living with. And they have a good reason to get angry because she did not cook the breakfast properly, or the dog peed where it's not supposed to pee. Or I've seen people yelling and screaming and breaking their clubs on a golf course where they're just having a good time. So I'm saying everybody has a reason to be angry. Anger means just this. When you're angry, as a doctor, you know today that when you're angry, literally you're generating poison in the system, literally. If you are poisoning yourself internally, and when you're angry, you know you do the most idiotic things in your life. When you turn back and see, you can't believe you did it. But most idiotic things happen when you're angry. So I'm asking, is anger an intelligent expression of human life or an idiotic expression of human life? Hello? Idiotic. So that's all you need to know. The next time you're angry, you just know you're stupid because you're turning against yourself. But I will tell you, the reason why this anger has been eulogized is, in a moment of anger, some people who were sleeping all their life propelled themselves into action, and that action produced some results. Yes, that can happen. It may so happen, that if I throw a stone at you, instead of hitting you, it hit the apple in the tree and the apple fell into your hands. But that's by accident. Generally, if I throw a stone, your head will crack. That's what is supposed to happen. Yes? So I got angry and something got done. So I think anger is a great way of doing things. So when you're angry, you yell and fume at somebody. I'm asking all of you, how many of you enjoy being yelled at and fumed by somebody else, whether it's your boss or your husband or your wife or your parents or anybody? You really thoroughly enjoyed this. Hello? Did you? No. And what makes you think somebody else enjoys it? They endure you, they don't enjoy you. And when they're done, they're done. So, it doesn't matter whether the anger happened to a man that you call as a prophet, because we have a way of eulogizing everything with which we have a distance of time. Suddenly, anything which is over 1,000 years becomes sacred in most people's mind, but whatever is happening right now, however great it is, they don't have the intelligence to recognize this. People are saying the past things are great simply because everybody else is saying it, not because they truly recognize. But we are coming to a time, if you don't do it, your children will do this. That is, a time is coming in the world where unless it makes sense, it doesn't matter from what source it comes from. Even if God comes and speaks here, the next generation will reject it unless it makes sense to them. This is a good development because instead of authority being the truth is becoming the authority. It's a good way to go. But once this happens, questions are going to rise, all kinds of questions. With all due respect to every religious tradition on the planet, I come from a land which has immense traditions, unbelievable. Most people in the world, most Indians are not even conscious of this. How many traditions, how many ways are there in that land? When Mark Twain came to India, he said, anything that can ever be done either by man or God has been done in this land, because the exploration is so incredible. But with all due respect to all of them, I say this, that if you raise three fundamental questions, 90% of the scriptural knowledge on the planet will collapse. I'm sorry, but this is the truth. If you ask three pertinent questions, you will see 90% of the scriptural knowledge on the planet will just collapse, it can't stand scrutiny.
So what are the three questions?
You are not a scripture, so why should I?
Oh no, you said ask three questions.
Yes, the fundamental questions. If you ask, simply, you… see, the fundamental thing is this, you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you will go. You can believe. If we work hard enough on you, we can make you believe anything. You must know this. I was just talking to a group of people in Nashville, Tennessee, where our center is. I was just telling them a joke. In the joke, I referred to God as Him. Immediately a few ladies stood up and said, "Do you believe God is a man?" I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, I know what I've gotten into, you know." I said, "I was just telling you a joke." He said, "It doesn't matter, you said Him." Now this is a debate in America, is God a man or a woman? I think this time in the election they're trying to settle that issue. But where we come from, we have no such issue. We have a man god, we have a woman god, we have a cow god, we have an elephant god, we have a snake god, we have a bird god, we have a dog god, we have every kind. Crawling ones, creeping ones, flying ones, all kinds. Because we are a very wise culture. We foresaw all the future problems that may arise. And there is also a debate which in the last election they tried to settle, but it did not settle, I think. People are debating in southern churches, is God black or white? It's a big serious debate happening. People really debating about this, is God white or black? Well, you know, Idi Amin, the Uganda man, Idi Amin declared God is black. I agree with him. As if a white man can have a white God, why can't a black man have a black God? But you know, these people do not know, because in these parts of the world, only messiahs, prophets, sons, others came. They don't know. In India, we know God is brown. Yes. Because God Himself visited India 9 times. Are you aware of this? You didn't know? God visited India 9 times, Himself. Indians are very proud of this because God visited us Himself 9 times and He sent His son and messenger and others to other places. I keep reminding them, that's because God wanted to do the job hands-on with Indians. He couldn't trust anybody else with Indians. He came 9 times and he failed.
Let's talk about it.
No, coming to belief, I'm saying we can make people believe anything if you work upon them from their childhood. Anything, believe me. You just have to work hard enough and make them believe this, that, everything. Belief gives you a confidence without clarity. Confidence without clarity is a disaster on this planet. There is no substitute for clarity. There is no substitute for clarity. But if you have confidence, you can just do something, just like that. Sometimes it works. Even if you're not clear, you can simply do something and it'll work. Can I tell you a joke?
Please.
This happened in New York City. Late afternoon, an 8-year-old boy came back from school. He had a very progressive mother, obviously she was single. I'm saying nobody catch up with her. He came home and he asked, Mama, is God man or woman? She thought about all the gender issues and the coming election and everything. And then she thought about it for a while and she said, both. The boy went into deep thought. After a little while, the boy came back and asked, Mama, is God black or white? Again she thought about all the racial issues in the country, and after considering this at length, she said both. The boy went into very deep thought. Then after some time he came back and asked, Mama, is God straight or gay? She again thought about it and then she said both. The boy jumped in joy, I got it, it's Michael Jackson. So how we arrived at our belief has cultural backing. Every culture has made up their own stuff. But I'm asking, do we genuinely know where we came from and where we're going? If you're so clear where you're going, that is for an appointment with the Creator, I don't think you should postpone the appointment. You must take it today, isn't it? But that's not true. If death is next moment, you don't want to go. If you are so sure, only that fanatic who blows himself up seems to be sure. Everybody else has a doubt, isn't it? Every working intelligence has a doubt, yes or no? If you have frozen your intelligence with overriding belief systems, then you're going. Every other working intelligence, if death is next moment, there is hesitation or no? For sure, isn't it? Because you really don't know where you're going. You can believe what you want, but you really do not know. Belief is of social significance, to some extent of psychological significance, but existentially it means nothing.
Of all the emotions that humans have, there is one emotion which has created the maximum amount of suffering for them. Yes, it's the anger that I'm talking about. If you have a close look at your life, you will know that anger has brought untold suffering on all of you, right? So to help you deal with this demon called anger, I'm gonna share with you one powerful technique that will help you go beyond anger once and for all. But before I share with you that technique, I wanna tell you that before you form any opinion about what I'm gonna say, first try to apply what I say in your life. And through application only, you can judge the worth of what you have heard, and not before that. So this is very, very important for all spiritual seekers. Don't merely trust the words, but apply them in your life and see whether they are helpful for you or not. If they are helpful, play with them, play with the technique, and if they don't bring any positive results, then stop it then and there. So let me share with you that technique. So the technique for transformation of energy trapped in your anger is the technique of witnessing. When the anger arises within you, you simply have to watch. Simply have to see it for what it is. You simply have to witness it. Now, witnessing means bringing what arises within you in your awareness. So when anger arises, you become aware that it has come, that the demon has come. And now you have to pour all your attention on it. You shouldn't judge it at all, saying, "Oh, I am angry again. I'm a spiritual seeker, so how can I get angry?" So don't pay any attention to such thoughts. Know for sure it's the mind playing tricks on you. So I was saying that when the anger arises in you, don't impose any opinion on it whatsoever. Just bring it in your awareness. Pour your attention on it and let that attention be gentle and kind. Don't treat anger as an enemy. It's just energy movement within you. And so when you witness it, watch it, become aware of it, it subsides slowly and gradually, leaving behind the energy of compassion. Yes, when the anger disappears through your witnessing, watching, it will turn into the energy of compassion. Initially, you may find it difficult to remain aware when the anger arises, but when you put this technique of witnessing into practice, you will surely be able to transform this raw energy of destructive anger into the healing energy of compassion. And after some practice, you will even be able to catch it before it arises. And so with this, you will be nipping this anger in the bud. Right? But have you ever thought, why does anger arise in the first place? It's because you live your life through your mind and not through awareness. All your actions have their roots in your mind. They don't come out of awareness. If you are aware in what you do, in all your actions, then anger can never arise. Presence of anger simply means absence of awareness, which in turn means your absence, because you are awareness.